And thanks to Jack for that report. And for analysis on the situation in Iran and the wider Middle East, we're joined by David Wurmser in Israel. He's an analyst for Middle East affairs with the Center for Security Policy. David, thank you for joining us this morning. From your vantage point in Israel, what have you been observing in the last 24 hours of the war?
Well, the war in Iran has shifted phases. The United States now is bringing in very heavy equipment, which is necessary to start hitting some of the deeply buried facilities. We see the nuclear structures in Arak, which is a plutonium reactor that could produce a whole different track to a bomb, plutonium bombs. And Natanz hit as well. Isfahan has been hit yesterday. That is where the 10 or so bombs worth of uranium is stored, the 459 kilograms. Has been stored. So that's the 60% dangerous uranium that's already been done. And then last summer, Fordo, which is underground enrichment, was hit. So we're moving to destroy these underground facilities, also missile silos, missile storage sites, and so on and so forth. The Israelis, on the other hand, it's sort of divided. Eastern Iran is the United States, Western Iran is Israel. Israel has been focused since the beginning heavily on the regime targets and taking down the regime. So what you see last night in the 24 hours, really, the last 24 hours, is the Israelis are very systematically taking out the structures of power and control of the government, police stations, IRGC stations and barracks, morality police stations, and so forth. So people are reporting, even in small towns and neighborhoods, one building where the IRGC had their local police office has been hit, and only that building. So really to take out the regime. But then overall, both sides are working aggressively as possible to remove the missile threat, because we see what the implications of that are for the Gulf countries and for Israel. You have right now on the screen a picture of an Israeli city that was hit 2 days ago and 9 people were killed.
Yeah, David, and in terms of the Iran capability, we did see the embassy in Riyadh get hit. Are there any elements that you're finding surprising that has unfolded since the initial strikes?
Not entirely. I think surprising is the success for the United States and Israel. That is, one always expects worse than what actually happened here. That's number one, and it came at great cost already. Six of our servicemen is 6 too many. But nonetheless, for what has been done, this is an amazing result so far. The second thing that surprises me a little bit is how extensively intertwined the U.S. and Israeli militaries are. They're operating really as one coherent structure. There's a seamlessness that is a high degree of professionalism on both sides, which bodes very well for the future, because such a powerful military cooperation really dominates the Middle East and allows us to somewhat disengage, lower our profile, but also to deter our enemies. Those are the two things. Where Iran is hit, I'm not surprised. Even Cyprus. I'm not surprised that they've been hitting Cyprus, and I wouldn't even rule out that they would hit Bulgaria, because that's where our tankers, our aircraft tankers, are based in Sofia. So, but Iran is one, desperate, and two, is trying to expand the circle to create an image of victimhood.
And David, from the Israeli perspective, how are the people holding up? What is life like on the ground there right now?
Very optimistic, very energetic. The Israelis have been through 2.5 years of war. They've been through a lot. They've actually even been through worse than this. Well, beyond even October 7th. The last round with Iran was much harder, more missiles. The Israelis feel that now, finally, issues are being solved, that wars are being finished, and they're carried all the way through to victory. Same in Lebanon right now. Of course, the big concern every Israeli has is that everybody has their kids, their brothers, their husbands, their parents serving in the Israeli military. 200,000 reservists have been called up, which means every family now has somebody under in uniform, and they're invading Lebanon because they're dealing with the Hezbollah threat, which is part of the Iran threat. They're dealing with it once and for all after Hezbollah did a truly amazing misstep 2 days ago and started launching rockets into Israel.
So Israeli forces on foot are moving into Lebanon. Do we see any flare-ups happening from Hamas or other potential groups that have Iranian loyalties?
Well, good question. Hamas has all along for the last several months been trying to do some spectacular operation that seizes Israeli soldiers. So every day you have something with Hamas, some squad coming out of a tunnel trying to kidnap a soldier or something like that. But we haven't seen a real uptick in that yet. So no, so far the decision among Hamas has been to sit this one out. Yemen that may be another surprise. I expected Yemen to join in pretty immediately, but Yemen so far is sitting on its hands, which is good news. Part of it is that it worked out deals with Saudi Arabia and other things over the last few months, and it might not want to give up its newfound diplomatic interactivity with its neighbors, while the UAE and Israel, their arch enemies, are establishing bases in places like Somaliland. So there's a game going on in southern Yemen, and the Houthi government there, or the Houthi rebel government there, may be playing that game as a priority over its alliance with Iran right now.
David Wurmser, thanks for your insights this morning from Israel.
Thank you.